How often do you get to see a well-paved piece of tarmac like this that stretches across 4 lanes and is endlessly open as far as the eye can see? Well, I can see a truck in the distance over there, but except for that exception, this road is empty as empty can be, which is why I'm so confident standing at the side of the road, mainly because it's under construction and everybody is redirected to the wrong side of the road. So, after enjoying my fair bit in the city of Jaipur and the hustle and bustle of the urban jungle, it's time that I head out into the wild. And for this episode of Into the Wild, we're heading to Savai Madhopur, which is about 35 kilometers from where we are right now, about 200 kilometers away from Jaipur. Home of Ranthambore National Park. If you haven't heard of Ranthambore, it is one of the most popular places you can go and spot a tiger, along with Jim Corbett and a few more here and there. But like our last episode when we went to Saraska, I'm really hoping to spot some wildlife over here, especially some tigers, since the tiger concentration in Ranthambore is a lot more. And with me, I have the Hyundai Tucson, which for a road like this, it's the perfect highway car. It's got the right amount of punch, the right amount of poke, and it's got the stature to be able to take on bad roads. So I'm quite excited to experience this road. So guys, go out there, enjoy monsoon and do it safely. The speed limit over here is about 120 kilometers per hour, and I did spot a few people doing 120 kilometers per hour on the wrong side of the road since this road is shut. So yes, I wouldn't advise doing that. Please be safe, everyone, and let's all safely have a good time. While the clouds are still behind me and the sun's ahead of me, let's try to make the most of daylight. We're finally here at Ranthambore in Savai Madhopur, and a little bit more about Ranthambore National Park. So, back in the 1700s, this used to be hunting ground for the kings and royalty, and they would come here and they would have their hunting lodges and they would love to hunt tigers and deers and other wildlife over here. But since the 1700s, times have changed, things have changed, and as India progressed, we've realized the value of tigers in wildlife. And the Tiger Project, or the Project One Tiger, really sort of like put in the awareness into people's minds about preserving wildlife. So by 1980s, this place was declared as a national park or a wildlife sanctuary, and at that point it spanned about 282 square kilometers. But since then, it's now gone on to expand much further, engulfing a lot more forest land around it, and spanning out to as much as 1,300 square kilometers, which is just insane if you think about it. So the tiger population inside is about like 80 or 90, and each zone, there's about 10 zones, and each zone has a minimum of at least 3 tigers, and a lot of zones have a lot more concentration depending on the wildlife available over there, the resources available over there, and just the geography of the place. Plus, remember, tigers are incredibly territorial, so they like to keep their territories apart and they like to have their own little space. As you can tell, I didn't take the simple route here. Thanks to the Tucson's SUV prowess, you can actually take this on some dirt trails, and which is exactly what I did on my way here, to discover some beautiful places. And I intend to do that once I'm done here too, just discover the forest land around and other places around Savai Madhopur, because that's the whole point of going into the wild, right? If you're gonna go into the wild, you are gonna get a bit dirty, you are gonna get a bit mucky. So without any further delay, let's head inside the park and begin our little safari for the day. Alright, so we're finally inside Ranthambore, and Ranthambore spans out to about 10 different zones. So we are currently in zone 6. We're exploring zone 5 and 6. Other zones have been shut due to weather conditions. It has been raining quite a lot, so the roads have gotten quite mucky, making a lot of the places very inaccessible and limiting the places we can actually go tiger spotting. So now Ranthambore is not just famous for tigers, it's also got a few variety of animals, a whole host of birds. You've got sloth bears, you've got leopards, you've got hyenas, and from what I hear, the sloth bears and the tigers don't seem to get along every time, and it is not uncommon to see them get into a bit of a tiff every now and then. But that being said, so far we haven't been able to spot any any carnivorous wildlife per se. We've seen a lot of nilgais, we've seen a lot of deers, we've even seen various types of birds, lots of birds actually, and a whole host of peacocks, but nothing that we wanted to. We saw a whole bunch of tiger prints and we saw a fresh kill, so we were really optimistic about being able to spot a tiger, but so far, nothing. Maybe the tiger's just got a full belly and is probably napping somewhere in the woods. But that being said, early in the morning, I mean, the weather is really good, the air is fresh, so I can't really complain that even though I didn't get to spot a tiger, it's been an awesome little trail drive exploring the jungles of Ranthambore, and I'd recommend you guys to come and check it out. It's okay if you don't spot a tiger, don't be disappointed, it's fine. It's a very luck-based thing to be able to see a tiger here. We got really lucky in Sariska, but you know, luck is not always on your side. But who knows, maybe on the way out we might actually spot a tiger, so fingers crossed. So we spent about 3.5 hours inside Ranthambore National Park, but unfortunately we couldn't spot any carnivorous wildlife. And that's okay, I was kind of holding my breath until the end, but yeah. But instead we discovered some beautiful scenery, some lovely trails, and some really cute little woodland critters, and a surprising amount of monitor lizards. So that was awesome, something really cool. And now we have a beautiful road back to Jaipur. Well-paved highway, and especially around Ranthambore right now, we've come and explored this little lake over here that we found. Look, just look at this little spot over here in this nook and cranny of this forest. It's a massive lake, it looks so beautiful. The air is nice and fresh over here, and I honestly love being here in the nature. Love being able to experience these things, and I'm so glad, along with my companion, the Hyundai Tucson, I was able to venture out into the wild and explore. And even though I didn't get to see wildlife, I still enjoyed some beautiful roads and some beautiful scenery, and I think that is also part of the true essence of a road trip. Thank you so much for watching. This is Gavin Rodriguez, and stick around until the next episode of Into the Wild.